Question this week. Jim writes in. He says, greetings. I'm upgrading from an M3 MacBook Air. I use it 99% of the time in clamshell mode, connected to a Dell 27-inch 4K display, and I'm moving to a 2-monitor setup. I do photo editing in Photoshop and Photos, light video editing, spreadsheets, and general use. Not a power user. 2 options. Option 1, a 24-inch iMac M4 paired with my existing Dell as a second display. And option 2 is an M4 Mac Mini with a second monitor, probably another 27-inch 4K Dell, since I'm not sure a 5K justifies the price. 3 questions. iMac or Mac Mini? If Mac Mini, buy now or wait for the M5 to come out this fall, and 4K or 5K for the second display.
Man. Okay, I have lots to say on this. The first thing is, I think moving from the Air, a laptop, to a desktop machine in your scenario, Jim, makes perfect sense, right? You're using it fixed in position, and that Air has no active cooling, right? It's all passive cooling. So especially in clamshell mode, it's just got less airflow, and you're probably running into some thermal throttling there. So I think you've already realized that and made that decision, but I just wanted to articulate it for anybody that's listening. That's you are going in the right direction. In Jim's original note, he sort of professed his love for the iMac form factor. And I understand this. I too am an iMac refugee, right? But once I sort of was forced out of the camp of using an iMac because I couldn't even fathom using a 24-inch screen versus at least a 27-inch, I am over the emotional attachment to the iMac. I think going with the Mini is absolutely the right choice. It gives you so much more flexibility down the road, not the least of which is if your display flakes out, your computer doesn't have to be thrown away along with it. You just get to move displays around or vice versa, right? Like you have, it's so much more, the modularity it is so worth it. And, the size of a Mac Mini or even a Mac Studio is fairly trivial, especially if we compare it to tower computers of old that the iMac was kind of built to replace, right? So it's a different world now, and I think the Mac Mini is the way to go. Whether or not to wait is a tough judgment call. But actually, before we talk about whether or not to wait, let's talk about the iMac versus Mac Mini thing. Adam, do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, my initial thought was exactly the same as yours. I was like, I would probably go Mac Mini at this point, especially if we're not, caring too much about the display. I mean, the iMac's fun with the colors, but to get the same specs. So I immediately brought up the compare Mac models things because I wanted to see, and to get the base specs kind of close to the Mac Mini, you'd have to go with the 4-port M4 iMac. That gets you the 10-core GPU, 10-core CPU, 16 gigs of RAM. You still end up with more storage on the Mini, twice the built-in storage at 512 versus 256. So, and you're saving roughly $700, which you're going to be able to buy that 4K display for a lot less than that. So you're going to be saving money, which means you could also then throw in either more storage if you wanted it or more memory if you wanted it. So, I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the way I would go just from a budgetary standpoint.
Yep.
You're basically getting the same machine. You're going to save money and you can get the displays you want. The other nice thing about the Mini, with how small it is now, it's essentially portable. If you needed to take it somewhere, you could just throw it in a bag. Literally.
Yeah.
It's true. Get one of those little portable power supplies that we've talked about, and you're
little portable USB-C display,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Or you could use an iPad probably, right? You could mirror to an iPad. It wouldn't be perfect, but you could maybe set that up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
But, super powerful. So,
Yeah. All right. So as for the next sort of point on this, whether or not to wait for the M5 Mac Mini, which I think it's realistic to assume that would come out this fall, right? So we're probably 3-4 months away from seeing that. My default advice is always, if you need a computer today, buy a computer today.
Mm-hmm.
There will always be a newer one coming, right? Like that, what a lovely world we live in where there's always new stuff coming, right? It's awesome. However, if you need it today, buy it today, because you can always wait yourself out of ever upgrading. And as Kiwi Graham reminds us in the Discord chat, Tim Cook has confirmed that prices are, heading north later this year, right? And maybe even this summer,